Before Vietnam etched its mark on them, American soldiers and Marines shipping out would make their own mark. Below decks of a troop transport, the men looked to an uncertain future and did what they could to inscribe their experience. They would come from all parts of the U.S. and depart from ports like San Francisco, San Diego, and Tacoma on troop ships like USNS General Nelson M. Walker. Soldiers looking to a tour in Vietnam faced over 5,000 miles and 3 weeks at sea, and many of these soldiers had never before seen the ocean. At first, excitement and anticipation. But as the ships moved farther from their homes, these men faced seasickness, anxiety, and boredom in hot and crowded quarters. Each day brought them closer to war, closer to a future they could not predict. Their feelings found their way to paper. Men like Jerry Barker of the 2nd Squadron, 1st Cavalry Regiment, wrote home about their voyage.
Dearest family, here at sea, it is 4 p.m., 18 August 1967. We finally passed the international date line and lost a day. This is something like our 10th day at sea. I couldn't say for sure because I'm so mixed up. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. One thing is for certain, the further we go, the closer we get to the equator, and that means it's getting unbearably hot. I'm beginning to see what they mean when they say Vietnam is hot. One can hardly stand it.
Down in the troop compartments, the men began using markers to leave a bit of themselves on the ship. The fabric of the cots became the canvas for their art, their thoughts, their worries and hopes. Writing on the canvases was against regulations, but as some of the men said, what were they going to do? Send us to Vietnam? They would inscribe their name, their hometown. They would note when they would leave the service and count the days of their voyage. Some comments were personal, some not, but all were meant to be seen, to be a mark of those who were going to fight. Zeb Armstrong of the 337th Signal Company was married shortly before he was drafted. He thought constantly of his wife Billy at home in Clover, South Carolina. He too made his mark. With each voyage, the mess of words turned into messages of love, anxiety, politics, and humor. Graffiti encouraged graffiti until the canvases were covered. When they weren't below, the soldiers marked the time as they could. Music was popular, and the ship's main deck became the stage. But this was a military ship, not a cruise line. The men had duties on board. Some worked the galleys, others held guard posts, while some cleaned latrines and troop compartments. Abandoned ship drills constantly brought the men in their life vests to the lifeboat station. These diversions helped the men forget their destination. But Vietnam loomed larger each day. Finally, the ships would drop anchor off the coast of a strange new land. The troops would take their gear and board landing craft for the trip to the beach and war. They would leave the ships, but not without leaving their mark.